Chapter 17, Honey Trap Ain't Working. This lawyer was indeed wasting his talent if he didn't pursue an acting career. Su Cheng faintly smiled. Not selling. The lawyer pouted, 1 million, take it or leave it. I told you guys earlier to just take your people and leave, and you wanted to screw me? Now I changed my mind. No one's leaving until the 15 days are up. Didn't you want to take me to court? Go ahead. With the evidence I have, we don't feel guilty at all. The lawyer's face became as ugly as someone with constipation trying to squeeze one out. Young Master Yun and the others behind the bars really wanted to come out and ask about what was going on and why their lawyers' faces are so awkward. He called his lawyer, "What's wrong? If this guy's so arrogant, let's just sue him until he's broke." The lawyer bitterly smiled, walked over, and whispered, "Young Master Yun, we went this morning to purchase and delete those videos, but we didn't expect him to actually get a copy of it in advance. Now, he's in possession of both video and audio evidence, and this is very bad for us. With that evidence, his actions would be justified as rightful law enforcement, so there's no chance of winning at all even if he wanted to continue locking you guys up." Young Master Yun's face slightly changed, and the eyes of those beside him all widened open. Someone immediately wanted to walk out of the cell, but Su Cheng came over and kicked the cell's gate, "Close right away. I already gave you guys the chance, and since you didn't want to take it, then you can accompany me for the next 15 days. Oh wait, I will be out too, so you can accompany each other," Su Cheng said as he locked the door. The young masters behind the bars all became anxious. "You dare to lock us up again? Why not?" Su Cheng glanced at them and said determinedly, "You said I didn't dare to beat you guys up, so I did. You said that I didn't dare to arrest you guys, so I did, and now you are behind bars. Now you want to try me and see if I dare to lock you guys up for 15 days. Young Master Yun let out a breath, trying to make his tone and emotions sound more euphemistic, and said, "Maybe we can talk about it." Su Cheng, "Talk about what?" Young Master Yun, "About letting us go. We have good gifts." With a big smile on his face, Su Cheng said, "Sorry, I didn't become a police officer to save criminals but to bring them to justice. Not to mention 1 million, even if the lawyer brought 10 million to the table, this is still non-negotiable." Then, he took out the key, put it in his pocket and left again, leaving the young masters behind the bars shouting angrily, "Hey, don't leave! Hurry the fuck up and let us go!" The lawyers all came up and surrounded Su Cheng and said with threatening expressions, "Do you believe that you will be seeing us in court?" Su Cheng replied with disdain, "Do you believe that if you continue to stay here and affect our daily operation, I can take you all in as well? The people you are trying to bail have committed a crime and need to stay for 15 days. If you insist on trying to bail them out, then sorry, I will have to bring you in too. Don't doubt me." Seeing Su Cheng's face become serious, the lawyers back off one by one. After swallowing the spittle, they glanced at each other and went to the cell to discuss the next moves with their clients. Su Cheng didn't even bother with those people and directly left the bureau. He still needed to his beauty nap. He heard those spoiled little brats cursing behind his back, so he turned around and said nonchalantly, "There's surveillance everywhere. Careful, your language might earn yourselves more days here." Those young masters all bitterly shut their mouth, especially young Master Yun, whose hands tightly gripped onto the bars. Originally, if they didn't try to stir shit up, they would have been out by now. But now, they were all rightfully detained after trying to pick on the little police officers. After the lawyers saw that things wouldn't get anywhere with Su Cheng, they had no choice but to go after the bureau director. The director directly sneered, "Sorry, I don't know anything about this." The police officers on duty began impatiently sending the lawyers away. All right, time's up. Just leave now and come back in 15 days to get your guy. We are working now." After the lawyers were all kicked out, those spoiled young masters behind bars all wanted to cry. "Holy fuck, we should have just left earlier. Now we have to spend the next 15 days staying in here. It's my first time getting detained, and most importantly, it was by the hands of a lowly patrol officer. Holy shit, this feels like getting fucked by a bull." Young Master Yun heard his friend's complaint and said angrily as he gritted his teeth, "Don't worry, that bastard is doomed when we get out." As for the lawyers, since they didn't have any other options, they could only go back to their old masters for help. Su Cheng couldn't care less about whether those people would find connections to get the station to release their young masters. he just went back to his condo after he dealt with the lawyers. Right as he entered, he saw Ranjing at the bar table sorting documents, and Shen Yao was holding on to her big white leg and polishing her foot nails. She obviously didn't realize that her skirt was not completely covering the upper half of her legs anymore, and when she subconsciously saw Su Cheng looking her way, she was momentarily dumbfounded. Then, she immediately glared at Su Cheng and pulled down her skirt. "What are you looking at?" Shen Yao snorted. "Su Cheng, if you are scared of being looked at, then just don't live here. This is what I meant by it's inconvenient rooming with another gender." Shen Yao replied, "I don't ask for much, and I can even double the rent. But I'm telling you, I've gotten used to this place and don't want to move. Besides, I'm often flying all over the world and will rarely stay in Shangcheng, so don't worry. Besides, you got such a big place here, why not just let me rent a few rooms?" Su Cheng nodded and reached out his hand. "Money?" Shen Yao blinked in disbelief and asked, "You are actually going to ask for my money?" If it was someone else courting Shen Yao, not to mention the pitiful rent money, they would fight for the opportunity to spend money on her every day. This man was clearly something else. Su Cheng remained unmoved, with his hand out waiting for the money. Shen Yao pouted and pointed at Ranjing. "Why don't you make her pay rent too? She doesn't earn much, and she had agreed to do all the chores in the house. Can you? If you can as well, then you don't have to pay rent too," Su Cheng replied. To Shen Yao, it wasn't really a problem with money, but when a man asks her to pay, it was completely a matter of belittling Shen Yao's charm. She gnashed her teeth, placed a stack of 100 yuan bills on Su Cheng's hand, and snorted. After Su Cheng finished counting the money, he went back into his room to take his nap. Watching his back disappear, Shen Yao really wanted to throw some ninja stars at his ass. Ranjing's voice floated out from the corner. "Honey trap doesn't work on him, already tried." Knowing that Ranjing saw through the reason she was angry, she immediately folded her arms and complained, "I just don't believe that there's one man in this world that can completely disregard my charm. From successful businessmen to foreign royalty and nobles, I deal with countless suitors on a daily basis. Today, I was actually asked by this guy to pay rent. I must show him some color to see." Ranjing chuckled and replied, "Tried that too. Yesterday, I got the best fighter from my bureau to deal with him, but he got beat up to the point of questioning life.